Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Sprite Alpine 2. Starting off at the front, you've got your black hitch head here with black lever. Now the black lever has to be up when you are initially hitching up. What you'll have to do, have both of these up, lower it onto your tow ball, and then you will see a red button shoot up and an exposed green ring. That then you will know when you are hooked on. It has a 13-pin electric, so if you do have a 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. You've got your handbrake here and then your jockey wheel on the side. We're using our test equipment today here, so you can see I've got a red propane bottle with gas inside with an in-date gas hose. These black gas hoses run up to 5 years. That side is connected onto the gas bottle, and inside here you have your regulator. Attach both sides firmly using a spanner. Once both sides are firmly connected, come over to your bottle and twist it in the open or positive direction. Then 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have your inserts for your legs. The caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit with the power drill just to make it that bit quicker. You first level using the jockey wheel and then put down your legs. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. Coming around this side, this first bit here is your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice and clean. Then just next to it you have your insert for your water pump. Water pump connects into this part here, and you just feed it into an acroll full of clean drinking water. We're not running any water through today as it's currently being drained off. Just next to it you've got your battery locker. This one does have a battery fitted. And then you have your mains lead. Mains lead plugs into there. You also have a little insert just here to allow for the mains lead to go through, so that you can then lock up the locker. Heading along, just underneath here you have these two inserts. That is where your wastewater from both your sink and your showers will come from. You'll need a 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master, and then just empty it on site. And then lastly, we've got your toilet function. So this top one is for your flush tank. This can hold around about 12 litres. I won't recommend putting in any more than 10, to be honest, as you don't want to overfill this. Flush water feed into here using something like a watering can. You can also get something called pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive, to just leave a bit of a better smell. And it's just simple as that. And then underneath you've got your cassette toilet. On the toilet itself, which I'll show you later on in the video, on the panel where the flush button is, there will be a red light that comes up telling you to empty this. When you need to empty it, you press up on this handle here and pull it out just like so. You can also extend this out into a little bit of a suitcase. Then once you've got to your emptying point on site, twist this head to the side, open up that cap. You want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing that vent button. What I'd do after that then is slide that back and open it up using that button there. Swill in some fresh water. Give it a little bit of a shake, just give it a bit of a swell out, and again tilt and continually press in this button to vent. Then on this cap here you have measurements in both imperial and metric when you don't throw it on the floor, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes inside of this, then goes onto that point there, twist it back to the side, push that back and ensure that the orange handle sits behind those white teeth, because then it can't be removed. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so to empty that flush tank just above, you have this bung just here open that up and drain off any remaining water before you drive off. We will have drained off the caravan entirely before you leave today, or whenever it is that you're collecting. And then underneath the right hand side bed, we have all of this here. May look a little bit daunting, but it's fairly easy. First up, underneath here, which you can access, is your boiler. You then have these blue leads leading to that yellow switch valve. That switch valve is the drain valve. When it's vertical, that's the drain position. When it's horizontal, that allows the flow of water to come through. It can be horizontal either way for when you want to use it, and I'd recommend November to March having it up vertically to drain off the caravan permanently, unless you are using the caravan itself, just because if there is any water inside the pipes, it will freeze over and potentially burst the pipes, which if you do have any warranty, it will void it. Moving along, you've got that black box there. That is your brain box for your motor mover. You then have this silver box on the side, which is your battery charger. And then on the top here, you have both your trips and fuses. You can see at the top here, both heating and hot water and charger are both illuminated, meaning they're both working. You have the reverse polarity button, and then you have a system shutdown button. If you press in that system shutdown button, nothing inside the caravan will be able to operate. It won't allow any flow of anything inside it. So only do that when drastic measures call for it. If you do need a little bit more information on your trips and fuses, pull down this board here and it tells you what the fuses are for and a few other little bits as well. Then what I was alluding to outside with the water pump, this here, let me try and grab it properly for a smack off. This here is your water pump. This part here is where you'll plug in. So, water pump inserts in and then can't be removed unless you press in the trigger to pull it out. That essentially locks it into place. You then have this plastic cap to go over the top of the ack roll to make sure no nastiness gets in. Then at the bottom you have your strainer. Your strainer has to sit at the bottom of the water barrel, because if it doesn't, it won't allow the flow of water to come through and instead will just gasp for air. So ensure that that is at the bottom of the barrel. Now, as you can see with this, it does have a little bit of a tendency to curl up. What you can do is stretch it out every time before use, or get yourself some white PVC tubing to put around the bottom part at least, so that is always nice and straight. There's always going to be a little bit of curvature with it getting in and out of barrels, but you can do something to make the bottom part straight. And then just here is your Swift command board. This is essentially for everything except your heating and hot water. To turn it on, if you haven't used the caravan in a little bit of time, you press and hold on that button there. The screen will automatically take itself off if you're not interacting with it, just so it doesn't disturb you. At the top you can see the internal temperature of the caravan, the external, the time, the date, the leisure battery voltage, and then it comes to this. All these buttons here, everything else from now on is touchscreen. So first up, you've got your pump button. So that is for your water pump. You press that in, it'll have a blue barrier go around it. So I'm just going to press it quickly. You can see there it lit up blue. I'm not going to press it for long though, just because we're not running water through. What you then come to do is, I'd say wait about 2 to 3 minutes to just allow a little bit of water to flow through. Make sure your switch valve is in the correct position and that your strainer is at the bottom of the barrel. Then come over to your sinks, open up on both hot and cold, and ensure that there is a nice, steady, continuous stream. Run it for about 30 seconds. If there's any coughing or spluttering, go outside and check your water pump. But what you're looking for is that nice, steady, continuous stream. Might not happen right away, but it will eventually. You only have to do that on one of the sinks. You can do it on all the sinks of the shower if you'd like to. Next up, you've got your awning light. So when I press it in, yellow barrier comes around. Open up that door and you can see there, awning light turns on. You then have lighting. So this is for the lights inside the caravan. You first turn these off or on by pressing in on the middle, and now you can see that there's no lights. Press in on the middle, you can see the lights come on. You then have an option to dim the lights. So it goes down, as you can see there, gets gradually and gradually lighter, and then as I go up, you can see gets gradually and gradually lighter. Press the other one and does these. So press in on the middle to turn them off, and then just dim to what you prefer. Then you have power. So this shows the amount of power coming into the caravan. So right now it says 14 volts are coming in, well 14.1, 14. Now, if you didn't have mains plugged in, this would be an accurate representation of the leisure battery. However, because we got mains in, it discovers the mains and uses that. No solar, 0.1 for vehicle, and then it shows the AC current, and you can also set a limit for that as well. Turn that off for now. You then have settings here. So these are a few different settings. It allows you to set the time, the date, the day, screen brightness just here, when the screen times out, so currently set to 5 minutes, pairing Bluetooth devices, as you can also download an app and control all of this through an app, and then key beep. So now when I press that in, it doesn't make a noise when I press the button. I just prefer to have it so I can hear when it's actually pressed. Then lastly, you have your radio. So you don't have a physical module, it's all run through the screen. Similar to any type of radio that you may have, you've got your mode at the top. Press in, go to FM, DAB, aux. So just next to here, you've got this input here to plug in an aux. But as I said, you can connect via Bluetooth as well. Then you have off. You then have an option to tune and scan for radio stations. Volume is just here, and then allows you to set presets at the bottom. And then you do have some additional bits here for all you music lovers, I guess. Turning up the bass, treble, middle, balance, loudness, and volume. That's for you to play about with, really. So it's simple as that. And then when you finish with the caravan, you need to turn this screen off. So you press and hold on this middle button here. Then just here, we have your Truma control panel. So similar to your Swift command board, this is a case of you've got a dial here, which is also a button, and then a back button. It will go to this green screen when it's not been activated in a while, just again, so it doesn't disturb you whilst you sleep. Press in on the dial and you'll come to this here. So everything underneath this line is what you can select. So first up, you've got the motorhome, or caravan in this case, with the thermometer in it. Press in, and this is for the internal temperature of the caravan. You need to get it to whatever temperature you want. So let's say I want it at 20 degrees today. Get it to 20, press in on the dial, and then when I go back, you can see it's 20. Just going to keep that off for now. Whatever you set it to, the temperature will get to that. Next up, you've got the thermometer in water. So this is for your water temperature. So you can either have it off, eco, hot, or boost. So eco will get the water temperature to around about 40 degrees. Hot will get it to around about 60 degrees. And boost will prioritize the water over the internal temperature of the caravan to boost it for about 15 minutes and then drop it back down to eco. So that's ideal if you want to use a shower in the morning. Then you've got your energy source. So you can either use strictly gas, a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt of mains, mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt of mains, strictly electric with 1 kilowatt, or strictly electric with 2 kilowatts. So you do have a few options there. If you're off-roading the caravan, stick it on gas. I'd say if you do have the option for electric, definitely use that than wasting your gas. Then you have fan speed, so you can either have it off or vent. What vent will do will push around the air inside the caravan without using the heat. Then you've got this dial here, which allows you to set when you'd like the water and the heating to come on. So you first select when you'd like it to start. So let's say 5 o'clock, and then you'd select when you'd like it to end. So 6 o'clock. Then if I go back to it, you can see that it's cancelled it because I pressed the back button. Then next up, you've got the time. So this allows you to set what time it is. It isn't currently 25 minutes past midnight, but just it will reset itself if it hasn't been plugged in and used. Then finally, you've got that spanner. That is for settings. Not going to run through these exactly with you, but you can see there's a few easy parts like 12 or 24-hour clock, language, temperature and brightness. That is something that you can have a look at inside your book pack. I'm just essentially showing you how to set up this panel. So, quick summary: internal temperature, water heat, energy source, fan speed, timer, time, and settings. Then to turn this panel off, you press and hold on the middle button here and turn itself off. Next up, we've got your Dometic fridge. So this is a 3-way fridge. So you have a few different options on how to power it. To turn this on, press and hold on this grey button just here. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case was gas on full capacity. You have your sources at the bottom here. That is a hazard. That is my telephone. The battery, now that isn't leisure battery, that is car battery for when you're plugged in with 13 pin. So if you are using an adapter in future, you won't have the option to chill the fridge whilst you are moving. That only works when you've got 13 to 13 pin, as you have what's called a continuous 12-volt feed. You then have gas, mains and auto. Auto, when you select it, the fridge will choose what it thinks is the best power source to use. To change the mode, you press this button here. So press it once, goes to mains, shut the phone up, press it again, go to auto, and you can see auto chooses mains. Now when I press it one more time, it's going to go over to the battery icon. When I do this, it's going to show a hazard, and I'm just going to show you what it looks like when there is one. Begin to beep and flash up at you. So we're just going to keep it on mains for now. Then you have this temperature dial. This allows you to select the amount of power coming into the fridge. 5 being the maximum, so it's going to chill it the quickest, however taking the most amount of power, and 1 being the smallest, so it's going to take the least amount of power but chill it the slowest. Inside as well, when the fridge is on, you can see there's blue lights. It does take around 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill, and to turn it off, you press and hold on the middle there until you can see no lights. Then just here we have your toilet operation, which you might say is box simple. At the top here you have your flush button. What I alluded to earlier in the video is that icon there. If the cassette toilet is full, a red light will come up there. But that is the flush button. You press in on the flush button and you can hear that motor. That motor is what would push around any water that you have inside the flush tank to just circle it out. Then to release any waste, press away just here, opens up the toilet, pull the handle back so you're able to actually take out the cassette toilet. Then lastly we have your hob operation, which will work to any standard sort of hob, grill and oven that you've had in the past, gas powered. In this case, pressing the dial, twist it to the side and at the same time pressing the igniter. So this is what it looks like when they're lit. And you can see here, nice blue clean continuous flames. Turn that off, back to the central position. Then to the grill, and you can see again, nice and lit. Then lastly, let's see if I'm trick and can do this with one hand. So press in there. There you go. Nice blue clean, continuous flame. Only other real thing to note, you have to travel with this glass sheet down, but make sure all of these are cold to the touch before you put it down, as it may shatter it.